Look at that. We are live. Oop. Good stuff. Live. It's going to be a fun show today. We got Virender coming back. Yeah, we're going to be checking out some cool stuff over on the old Summer Game Fest. So give me a second here to let a couple folks join in. Sam's going to be joining us here shortly. Virender's going to be joining us here shortly. And it'll be a good time. So thank you for whoever is joining us. It is almost showtime. So this is the nice pre-show stuff that we like to do. Okay, let me post some stuff here. We are live. Hope you all are having a good time. Hype. Look at that. Hype. 0. Good to see you, buddy. Hype is always good. Hype is always good. Just grabbing some information. Okay. Get that guy going. Hope you're all having a wonderful evening here. We're going to get started in like 3 minutes. Oh, there we are. Hello, my dude. Ooh.
Hey, how's it going?
Going well.
Good.
Sam is... I already hit the live button, so we're just doing some... You and I are doing some fun pre-show stuff.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Sam said he'd be a bit late anyways.
Yeah. So it's all good. So we can start with a couple of things that you and I played.
Sure.
And I'm just pulling up some videos of that. So give me a second here. Did I talk about that? We did not. All right, so that one will be good. This one will be good. Yeah. Okay. It's amazing. Like, oh, there are so many of these that Sam and I just didn't get a chance to do a lot of these.
Yeah.
A lot of these, which is totally fine. That is the whole point. It's the whole point. Click that. Okay, we got that guy. Did I talk about this one? Yes. Okay, talk about that one. How's your evening going, my friend?
It's going. I mean, like it's weather's hot.
Oh, I'm not looking forward to it tomorrow. Driving over there.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, I guess. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And I think there's this one too. Did we talk about that? We didn't. All right, good. Just talking to myself. Don't mind me. And that. Okay. Lots of pages loaded up there. Okay. Get that. Load that up. I'm just going through your list and my list.
And... one more to add to that is Hoa 2.
Oh, you got a chance to see it. Okay.
Did you play that at the...
No, I didn't.
Oh.
No. Okay. Here we go. We got
and there's one that's like flip the table.
Oh, slap to it?
No, it's like it's literally called like flip the table.
Oh, interesting. All right.
It was all the PM stuff.
Okay.
And,
table
flip simulator. Yeah, table.
So cool. So you had a chance to check that out. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that was cool. So we can do a little. As well. And, everything else I sent you the works.
Yep. So I'm just slowly loading some of these up there.
Perfect. So. Zero's happy to see my beautiful face.
Yep. It's always good. Well, let's go ahead and start. I'm gonna start us in. Excuse me, I had to clear my throat a little bit. Sure. Get some. So speaking of Zero, I'm gonna get the music going that Zero provides. So I'm gonna hit our intro music here. Look at that. We are live on the SideQuest back-to-back nights. This is good stuff. Cannot wait to talk to all of y'all on our 3rd, 4th, 5th Summer Game Fest show, which is great. I'll explain that in a second. I'm Dolly Domovsky. Joining me, the one, the only, the wonderful Virender. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much for letting me join again to wrap up the SGF stuff. Because some embargoes were late, and then it's just let's just get some of the stuff out. And
it's insane. And there's at least 1 or 2 embargoes still out there of things that we can't talk about, which is pretty funny. But I'm just gonna do that separately on on maybe a separate video or on the side quest again, but whatever. I'm not worried about that. We don't need to do a whole separate show for it. We'll figure that out. But regardless, it is awesome to see you again. Always a blast. You always bring the style. I've got to get a thing. I've got to get a bow tie or something. It's funny. My nephews, my youngest nephew. So I have 2 nephews. My younger one, who's 9 years old, loves bow ties. And he's got a tiny little clip. He collects these tiny little clip-on, plasticky bow ties, and he wears them nonstop. I'm like, dude, Vinny, you are on the right path, because I know somebody who's a bow tie guy, and you guys always look good. So it is good. It is good stuff. Once again, thank you everybody for joining us. SideQuesting.com, SideQuesting TV. Yes, you traveled back in time, Mark. There have been so many. I'm gonna keep it up. There have been so many games that we had a chance to see. Sam and I at SideQuesting, Virender with Unwinnable, and we thought, let's just do these videos and try to capture as much as we can. It's one thing to write, and writing is good, but it's also another thing to talk to each other about these things. Yes, bow ties are cool for sure. It's another thing to talk to each other about it, show the video, and kind of go over it that way. So that's how we've been doing these, and we've been having a lot of great comments, people chatting. It's been a lot of fun. Again, SideQuesting.com. If you would like to hop into the Discord there, if you want to be a Patreon member, go ahead and help us keep the lights on. Totally not needed, like I always say. It's just a little bit of something that helps. Thank you to our executive level Punctified, Punkdefied, who you met, Virender, over at Summer Game Fest, I think at the IO Interactive thing and a few other places. Thank you to our producers, Zero the Prototype, who's in the chat right now, Exagenous, Jeff Grubb, Cricket, Stefan, y'all are wonderful. Thank you to the friends of the show and all the special thanks. We have a lot of great people who constantly join us. We have a wonderful little community. It's a lot of fun, and I certainly get a kick out of chatting with everybody. So on that note, we're gonna dive right into some of the stuff that we've been checking out, and you were just telling me about a couple things. We're gonna start with I want to start with the ones that I definitely didn't see. Okay, at least a couple of them. And the first one is called Table Flip Simulator.
Yeah. So I had this was also South Asian. Mm-hmm. This was for the South Asian showcase as well, but it wasn't the PM Studios. So it was shown at the no.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yeah. Southeast Asian Game Showcase. I thought this was they were oh, you can, if you play this, it's, just like a 10-minute thing. Basically, your boss treats you like shit, and you're just trying to get the anger out. So then it's this 3D kind of cartoonish environment. Not so much like cell shaded, more like blocky, similar to like Roblox style. And you try to just like you can do combos and juggle when you throw around different things that are in your vicinity, and then you can make them bounce off combo wise and counter wise and increase that. And then you keep building up. You can hit people, or you can do more objective based, like hitting pictures of your boss that are throughout the office. And then by the time you fill up your meter, then you can just like unleash the table flip, which will just continually destroy everything in vicinity. And there was a lot of cool different like places you could do it. Like the dinosaur zoo was a cool one. That one required like trying to throw stuff over the fence. And then an office was the first one because it's more like smaller and more cohesive, but like there was better juggling to do there. No, it's like a fun and zany game, and like it wears its comedy on its sleeve and is very unapologetic with it. And funny stuff can happen. You can throw people, of course, and make combos like that happen.
It looks just silly and fun, and I appreciate that there are games being made like this that are comedy. They lean into just being goofy, and that's what this looks like. How fun!
So like
really cool.
Not even like long levels or anything, and also like it has that thing where like you get 3 stars on each, and I'm like, oh, I gotta like you just have to.
That's when the demo at like a Game Fest or something else is like, sir, you have to stop. Oh, hold on a second, okay? I can get this 3rd star, okay? It looks great, and like you said, it's like shorter levels, and that to me is just absolutely perfect.
And I'm looking forward to free DLC they have as well. But it was cool. Like the physics stuff is very cool and interesting, and you can make very different. If you don't have a physical. Okay. Sure.
Yep. But it looks great. I'm gonna be. These are the kinds of games which actually for the summer, they're kind of perfect because I don't always want to sit in front of a screen for too long. I'd rather come in, play a couple levels, go back outside if it's not sweltering hot like it is today, or do something else. I think this looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun. So
very cool.
Yeah. Very cool. So that's Table Flip Simulator. Love it. Another game that was, I guess this is also at PM Studios, and that was Hoa 2 that you had.
Did you get a chance to play any of that?
No, I didn't, and I haven't played the first one either, so I'm curious to to get your thoughts on it.
So I didn't get to play the first one either, but this was like the cell shaded you play as this little sprite in the cell shaded environment, and the puzzles are involved for like trying to gather fuel by doing different puzzles that you find throughout the environment. Nothing is really sectioned off or anything. So everything you could just like go around and like go into it. And then you want to be able to... So the puzzles involve like getting an energy through tubes and making sure like it doesn't break or crash. So then some of the tubes need to be rotated, or they need to be stepped on or anything, stepped on as well. So they go throughout the whole thing. And it was just like, it was like this very charming, lovingly handled game, but like some of the puzzles do ramp up as well. And I definitely liked the difficulty there. I think there's maybe like 30 different puzzles, and like I kept on playing the demo for quite a while, and I was like, does this demo end or is this a full game? Because they're like, no, it's just a long demo, and I'm like, I could have kept going. I got like 5 fuels. I really like the big characters they have. Like you can stand and control when you jump on like a big crab, you can use it to steer around like that one. and then you can use it to get to environments and platforms you couldn't reach before, and then you can like layer them up between like go to a different environment with the crab to go up somewhere, and then there's another crab, and then use that to keep going and climbing. I only saw like the grass stage part, so I didn't. So this is like one of the big puzzles. It's very well done. It very much reminds me of like just a lot of just physical, like the way Castle in the Sky is, or
set
how
pieces and
yeah,
okay.
I never played the first one, but this one looks great and fun. It was very much like get in there, you can do whatever, and it looks like a lot of the puzzles can be just done any way, really. So just like a full environment as long as you can get to them, and there were definitely a lot of. I could definitely just. I could, if that was the whole game there, I would have just kept playing because I finished like 5 or 6 puzzles, but no, I really like this a lot. I'm looking forward to what those folks are doing there. Yeah,
that's cool. Then that's later this year, I think. That the game is coming up.
That was neat. One at the Southeast game show.
Okay, so, okay.
On everything.
Yeah. A game that okay, I'm gonna go a couple games that both of us actually had a chance to try, or a few games that both of us had a chance to try. And speaking of comedy games, Slap To It was a game that we had a chance to check out, and this was I didn't know what to expect. So this is Floor Plan Slap Out of It. Floor Plan Slap Out of It. This is essentially it is so Floor Plan is this sort of puzzle series that they've done in VR, Turbo Button. Well, they're creating this sort of spin-off of Floor Plan in not in VR. This is completely done in first person, and your whole goal is to use your hands. And you mentioned comedy before. This whole game is built around comedy and physical comedy. So obviously, some of the TV shows and animations and cartoons and stuff that we grew up with like just silly hands and silly characters and puppets and that kind of stuff carries that feel here. But it is a puzzle game. It's like a big, almost escape room style puzzle game in that so the game starts off with you get a job helping people, and as you're sitting there, you walk you walk up to this counter, and people will kind of wheel in on chairs, and they'll have a problem. And one guy is like, "Hey, I got this finger trap, and my finger stuck in it." It's like, "Oh, okay. Well, let me see what I got in the back." So you'll go in the back, and there's the finger trap right there, and some of the you go in the back, and you're like, "Oh, I got this stick of butter that I can get out of the machine, but I don't have enough money to get the stick of butter." But this person did pay me to help them, but they didn't give me enough money. So, we have a copy machine. So I'm going to illegally forge money on this copy machine and then put it in the vending machine to get the butter out, or whatever the process was. And then you can use the butter on this person's finger trap, and they get out and they're all excited and they zip away. And there's those types of problems. I think there's another one with I think the very first one, somebody's head is on fire, so you just take the fire extinguisher and help them and put the fire out. But the interesting part of it is it's not like typical fire extinguisher fluid. It's actually edible, and you don't realize it until you really take a look at the fire extinguisher that's on the wall, because somebody comes by later on and they're looking for something to eat, and you have to help them eat. And so you're gathering ingredients, and there's you can see the fire extinguisher in some of these videos. They're gathering ingredients. You're gathering ingredients, and you're missing like the most important part, which is the cream. It's like, we're gonna get this like marshmallowy cream, and I'm like, I'm thinking around, and the during the demo, the dev is like looking at me and like kind of doing the get it, and I'm like, no, I don't get it. I can't figure. I don't know what I'm missing. I don't know. Like they're like, get it. I'm like, no, I don't. Wait a minute. Is it the? And that's where I started asking, like, is it the fire extinguisher? Because I think that wasn't actually. They're like, I don't know, is it? I'm like, okay, so it is the fire extinguisher. But it's those types of. But that's that's the silly part of this game in that. Some of these are so obvious that you miss them, and that's what I love about the puzzles. It's just like, oh, I wasn't expecting it to be that easy of not that easy, but that obvious of a puzzle, and that's what makes it so charming. In that stuff that works that you would think would actively work, but we never employ that level of thinking in games because we think it's like too simple of an answer.
Yeah,
is the stuff that works here. Is like the stuff that works here. Did you figure out the elevator puzzle? The elevator was a sneaky.
The elevator had so many layers.
God, so many layers there in this.
There was also like the photocopier, and then you know somebody wants jam, and you're just like
jam,
and you're like, oh, you jam the photocopier, and then you take the jam from it to.
It's like get it, and it's a lot of those get it type of jokes.
Very much so, yeah. But then. I know we talked about it a bit last time more, but you folks wrote a preview as well for it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
How did you get up to like the dinosaur stuff?
Oh
like
yeah.
Stuff?
Oh, I got to the bones. So you get in the elevator, and what's really novel about this game is again, it starts off as you helping people. But then you can leave the help area and then go up into the. They're like, okay, it's break time. Go ahead, do whatever you want. So you go into the elevator, and you're in this building that has like 4 floors or whatever, and each of these floors has like one is an apartment, one's a bathroom, one's a museum, and one's a nightclub. Typical things that are in a building, right?
Yeah.
But the way to solve these puzzles is you do have to go, and I mentioned the escape room style. You do have to go between the rooms to do certain things. So you'll find a pair of glasses in one room that you use in another room, and some of those things are easy. But then what I ended up really liking, and I'm mentioning the elevator here because it's once you figure this out, it's early in the game. The game is going to be long enough where the stuff we're telling you here, by the way, folks, is going to be. Don't worry. This was sort of the setup to understand how. This game
these
works.
were the first 5-10 minutes.
Literally.
They only had one way to solve them, but they did say like other stuff requires. Doesn't require, but we'll have multiple ways to solve things.
Be more out of the box.
Well.
Yeah. Oh, here's Sam joining us. How's it going, Sam? We're talking about slap out of it. So the elevator was great because you're thinking, okay, how do I need to get something. I need to get matches, for instance, from one floor into the museum, but I can't carry them through the metal or the detector because it's a hazard, or it's a light or whatever. It's a hazard. So they won't let me through. So how do I get these matches? Because I have to light a fire in this museum in one of these displays, and then I hop back in the elevators. I'm going up and down the elevator like a million times. I realize, wait a minute. The elevator also has, like, when you turn in the elevator, there's also a button that rotates the elevator. I'm like, well, why would I rotate the elevator? So on a whim, I started rotating the elevator, going on the floors, and realizing, oh, I'm not just rotating the elevator. I'm kind of rotating reality in the building itself, because you'll open the bathroom door, the elevator, the bathroom door, and the water is now spilling down. You're seeing different things outside of the window as stuff is rotated, and you can rotate like 360 degrees. It's really wild.
Yeah.
Well, the gist of this puzzle, and again, we only had like 15 minutes. The gist of this puzzle is, we were able to, you put something on the floor in one room, the lighter, and then you get in the elevator, rotate the elevator, and it'll fall through the vent to the museum behind the metal detector. And then you can just walk in, pick it up, and continue walking. It's such a silly little way to solve puzzles, but I love it.
So smart. Like, it's so smartly designed.
Yep. And I can't wait for this game to come out. I don't remember when the release date is, but it's just such a fun, neat idea for a game that takes comedy and puts it in there. Yeah, slapstick feedback is a great
I also
headline
like there were like red herrings to find, which is
Oh,
like
yeah,
portmanteau
yeah.
of red herrings to show like there's nothing more on this part. Like,
Yes, yes.
and I think that's a very smart thing because
Yeah.
like a lot of puzzle games, people will like faff around somewhere because they're like, it has to be here. Like this
Yeah.
but then that indicates like, no, there's nothing here. There's no way to progress in this specific area. You
Yep.
solved like all the puzzles in that area.
It's great. It's a really neat way to say, neat way for that. It's cool. It's like, oh, okay, I'm done here. Yeah, I finished it, so.
It's incredibly smart in that sense. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's good.
But I'm very much looking forward to how the voice acting is because is voice acting the main character.
Yes, that's so good. That's so good.
Yeah.
Sam, how's it going, Sam? Just wanted to welcome back.
Yes. Enjoying what I think is a day off, or the day before a day off tomorrow.
Yeah. For
no real answer on that question mark yet. So we'll see.
Hopefully for you.
Happy maybe vacation July 3rd off for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. True.
Yeah, a few of us. It was
otherwise
was Canada Day
Saturday,
the other day, so that's good.
Yes. Canada Day. Oh, I forgot that you you don't believe in the 4th of July over there.
Yeah, our Canada Day was yesterday, and we never had it on like a random ass. It's always like a Monday or Friday.
Right. It's well,
you got the one of the stories of me running a fireworks tent while we were at Summer Games Fest.
Oh,
yeah, that's I'm too long for maybe this podcast, but
next time. I mean, most for like wild as shit, story, long story, very good.
Hey guys,
story.
Sometimes when you're in a state that fireworks aren't really that common, but are common enough that you can find them on the side of the road, stop by and maybe I sell them to you. Not anymore.
In a random ass country doing random ass shit.
I want to hop in real quick to something that the both of you saw. Actually, all three of us saw, but we didn't have a write up for this, and I believe we did have a write up. I should say we didn't record this the last time we spoke. That's Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3.
Right.
And tell me a little bit about Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3, friends.
Well, as much as I guess we can tell you, because there's not too much information on it, other than if you're a longtime Dragon Ball fan, welcome to year 1000, age 1000, I'm sorry. How does that relate to all the other ages that you've seen? Look it up. That's the easy way to say it. But I believe normal Dragon Ball canon is like somewhere around like age 600 or whatever.
Yeah,
and goes to 800, and here we are in 1000. Fact check me, please. But yes, so this game essentially brings some of your favorite characters throughout Dragon Ball canon, as well as new characters, which may or may not be related to other canonical characters that you're familiar with. Here to once again fight for the survival of I don't remember the name of the city off the top of my head. But yes, it's essentially what is a futuristic take on the Dragon Ball sort of universe, even though like they kind of already lived in the near future as is. Where you get to join as a new recruit in one of the defense squads. You get to choose your favorite Dragon Ball race. When we saw the demo, it was only we saw both a portion that was humans and then Saiyans. It's essentially continuing the legacy of Xenoverse 1 and 2. You're going to get to go on missions with a couple of those characters. It also has a system where you get to call some of those older characters and use their abilities and moves during your fighting. There's also assists to call in other characters throughout the timeline. It just really seems like this is going to be a fan service Xenoverse game, which I mean is kind of saying things again because Xenoverse has already kind of felt like a fan servicey game. But it also feels like the most like authentic, I guess, to the fighting that is the like sort of anime style of the fighting. So a lot of charging powers, a lot of flying around. Everybody sort of having their own fighting styles. All of the races having their own strengths and weaknesses. I have not played either of the previous two, other than occasionally like catching a demo or a friend handing me a controller while they were playing like one of the other ones. Have either of you experienced either of the other two?
I haven't played them. They still get updates, so I still get press releases for updates for that. I think it's cool for them to do like a character customization sort of thing where you're interacting with main characters and your character just like in the plot of things. But I never played those ones. I played a lot of Sparking Zero, which was more back to Budokai and Budokai Tenkaichi series. But the Xenoverse games, no, I did not play them whatsoever. Yeah.
I played a little bit. I think they were available on Switch, and Switch 2 is like this play. They were available as the play sessions. I think Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 was. And so I ended up playing it through there, and then it was actually on sale, and I picked it up, and I played a little bit, and I actually enjoyed what I played, but then you get caught up in a bunch of things. But this, I'm intrigued in this, whatever year 1000 is.
Yeah, it's like unfortunately, like my Dragon Ball extent is like every '90s kid, where it was on what is it, Toonami. So I watched basically through Super, and then unfortunately like fell off the bandwagon. But I do know that like this is sort of the last project that Toriyama was working on before he passed away. So a lot of these character designs are his. Including the main character Brett, I believe is his name, which feels really weird as to say like, and everybody's like, and fighting along Goku and Piccolo is everybody's favorite character, Brett. But obviously you'll have your own created character, and you can name it whatever Dragon Ball name you want, or like Kevin or whatever. I think it's, they're trying to stay as faithful to the spirit of Dragon Ball and to his art, and hopefully there was sort of an outline created of what the idea and concept behind Age 1000 was. So yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to it. I think what is it, Fighter Z was a really good take on like sort of a classic anime fighter for it, but this is like Dragon Ball fighting. So I'd like to see like what they're able to do with pushing modern power and stuff like that for a semi-open world game like this.
Very cool. Yeah. Good. We Verender, you and I saw a couple games that they were in the same room, and it is what's the publisher's name?
PM.
No. It was I'm sorry. Let me restart that train of thought.
We were in a couple rooms. That's true.
Throughout
the day, throughout the weekend.
Yeah. No, we had a chance to see Nekome, Nazi Hunter, and Crimson Moon.
Yes.
And probably Monsters is the name of the. Thank you.
Yes.
And so I want to talk a little bit about these, because very interesting concepts, completely different styles of games, to be honest, and I appreciate that. Let's start with Crimson Moon, and go from there. So Crimson Moon is sort of the way they explained it, it was an action RPG that takes inspiration from Souls games, but isn't necessarily a Souls game.
It felt like a very single player multiplayer game because of the raid, and how that always just like changes by different levels. It looked like it reminded me a lot about like when I was playing like Eternal Strands, which came out a few years ago, or even like Darksiders similarly as well. But it wasn't like so much Souls like where if you make a mistake, it can cost you. Like there were still like things like stamina, if I remember correctly, and that sort of stuff. It It's interesting. I feel like it doesn't. It's tough to demo. Like it's
Sure.
tough. Like it's tough to create a demo from the developer's end and try to like get out what it's trying to repurpose and trying to reiterate.
Mm-hmm.
I did like a lot of the gameplay. There's a lot of cool things. Yeah, it's pretty difficult as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Some of the fights. What did you both think?
So I kind of felt the same way. The game it's run based, so it's Souls inspired, but also sort of roguelike in a way as well, right? So
Yeah.
the way the demo was set up was you essentially walk into you're in this giant cathedral, and there's this big war table in the middle, and you select a mission. It's all mission based. Select the mission, and they only had one mission available. And like you said, it's got to be difficult to be able to do these types of demos because you're not sure what how much you can showcase to people to really have them get the point. For us to get the point, because you don't want to make someone incredibly overpowered in a game like this, but because then the game will just say it feels too easy, and yet you don't want to leave it as hard as it potentially could be, because then we're not going to be able to get anything out of the half hour or so that we're there.
Yeah.
So that being said, so you go into this world, and you're taking on, I think it's like a town. The mission is to clear out this town. It's been infested by demons and a bunch of other things. So you're clearing out all the enemies there, and you're finding new weapons. You're doing a lot of sort of exploration around this town, and there are these like these little waves of enemies will kind of come at you in areas. So you'll have, and they're not like giant waves, not like hordes. It's more like 3 or 4 well-placed enemies. They're all different types. You'll have an archer up at the top, and you'll have a dude with a sword and a shield down here. You might have somebody with a spear. So they balance them well. At least it did in this demo, so we can actually get a feel for all the different types of enemies that we're going to run across. I died a lot in this, but let me say that that's a recurring theme of me at Summer Game Fest, is dying a lot. 2 reasons. One, that's okay. It's okay to die a lot in a game like this, because that really is the only way you're going to advance your character and advance the story, and is to you go through it, you clear it out, you figure things out, and then you meet an untimely doom, and then you start back up. And so I did that a few times, but I got better each time, and it felt good. It felt better as I was going through it. I felt more powerful, not because my character was necessarily getting powerful, but because I was understanding the tactics and the strategy of how to take down these enemies and where to look for things. And I did get to the end of this demo in that half hour, and they told me, they're like, no, this is the demo. You died plenty of times, and that's okay, because that's how you're kind of intended to play this. And I did enjoy my time with it, even though it is kind of difficult to demo. But I will say, what I especially liked in this, and I mentioned it in the write-up that I did, is the attention to detail they put into everything in the environments. You can walk around, like, I found myself walking around the shops and the rooms.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the town was abandoned, but it looked like everybody had just immediately left and tried to escape these beasts and monsters that came in. But you could walk around somebody's room, and you see like the bed covers are kind of distressed in the corner. There's like half-lit candles on the table. Somebody threw a book down when they ran out. There's like utensils in places.
There's a really good sense of place and lived in this.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. And I think I spent the majority of my write-up hailing that attention to detail, because I got lost in the just looking at things and loving looking at things. And so kudos to them for doing that. Now, will the game capitalize that? I don't know. This demo was good from that standpoint, and I think it was definitely something that I'm going to be much more interested in. And it's coming out in September with everything else, but I think this game could be a kind of unique aspect. And they even told us when they kicked off the session, they're like, "Hey, listen, we're not making AAA games here. we're making like AA games that you're going to want to enjoy and replay. We're putting some AAA quality and visuals and stuff into AA games because we know that, you value your time and your money and your patience and your expectations. We want to help you manage those expectations. And I think they did a pretty good job, at least in this preview, managing that. So I'm intrigued when somebody tells you that it's like, hey, this isn't going to change your world, but you're going to have a good time playing it. I'm like, you know what? Count me in. I'm going to be checking this out more. And cool enemy design, by the way. Yeah.
So for it as well and see.
Yeah.
Sam, did you play this as well?
I did not get an opportunity to play it. I'm just watching the sort of like little chunk of gameplay that's in here. The movement does look like a lot looser than some of these.
Like, you can jump around and
and also looks like maybe Paladin as a
so it's called angelic.
Choice, so.
It's like an angelic mode. So as you're you have like light attacks and heavy attacks. It's very basic attacks, light, heavy, and you can switch weapons back and forth, which is kind of cool. But you can go into angelic mode, which depending on your loadout, you can really do some really cool. You can get that's when you can get like OP, and that's kind of a neat thing. You build up this meter essentially to be able to pull it off, and that's cool. I did enjoy angelic mode from this standpoint. So it's kind of a cool little paladin-ish thing. It's September. It's right around literally 2 months away. So it looked really polished.
Oh, it's beautiful as well. Like some of the large set pieces are really gorgeous.
Gorgeous. Just walking around that cathedral, I want to they had areas where just blocked off so you couldn't go in, but there's a whole library. I'm like, I want to go in there and I want to be able to read every single spine on every book, and I have a feeling I'll be able to.
I also really liked it wasn't too tough to find out where to go, where the hordes were or anything, because the indicators are really good. And then, it very much tells you there's only I forgot how it tells you, but outside of music, it there's a way it tells you just there's a horde around here. This is the way to go. So it wasn't
good indicators
finding lost or anything, which sometimes does happen when, alleyways can do that for a sort of game like this. But no, I liked what I played of it. I want to see how it is for the 2-player co-op online.
We didn't get a chance to try that. So that'll be cool. There's a lot in this game, and it's kind of coming out of nowhere. And no one has talked about it because there's so much other stuff being announced all the time. I really think Crimson Moon, I think your hype level is mine as well right now. It's don't sleep on it. I think it's going to surprise a lot of people for what it's trying to do.
Of course,
And then right after that, I think is when we had a chance to try Nekome, Nazi Hunter, and completely different style of game. Completely different style of game.
No paladins in this one?
No, well, maybe the main character might be a paladin if you want to consider him a paladin.
Virtue-wise.
Virtue-wise, this is, really the title says it all. You are a Nazi hunter. Your family, they had it kind of set up cool. The opening scene that they had us play takes place in a dinner with all these Nazi generals and stuff. Where these lieutenants are around, and this guy's celebrating. Look at the great stuff that we're doing. We've hit all our bullet points for this quarter. We've or whatever they're saying, and they're celebrating their successes, and they're like, and we got where's Bill? Bill's around here somewhere. We'll find Bill in a second. Anyways, we're gonna celebrate with food, and that's when this little server guy comes around, and we're like, so why don't you guys all dig in? And this is the main commander is saying it. Well, the server takes the lid off the serving dish, and it's the dude's head that was that they're talking about. I'm like, oh my god! And all of a sudden, it's like, okay, it's on, and you're the server. You snuck in, and you kind of literally your goal is to obliterate, not just kill, but to wonderfully murder everybody in this room. And they let you do it. They let you do it throughout the rest of the parts of the demo. Because it is sort of it's a very emotional story. So it's obviously set in, and it's not real events, but it's adjacent. It's meant to be the experience of what happened in in the U.S. actually, when the Nazi party of the 20s and 30s and 40s built up and stuff. And so you star a character who his family is killed by the Nazis, and so you immediately go into blood rage, vengeance to hunt them down. You no longer care about yourself; you care about vengeance and taking it to the people that did this to your family. And because of that, they're like, it's minimal controls. So you leave the butcher shop that you're working in, your uncle's butcher shop or uncle's deli or whatever it is, and you walk into the alley behind the deli where the dudes who just killed your uncle are just kind of lazily walking past, and you go right at them, and that sets up everything. You could lightly sneak, so you can kind of duck down and crouch and walk around, or you could just go right at people. Sometimes they'll shoot at you, but like stormtroopers in Star Wars, they're really bad shots, so it's not like you're gonna get really injured. You can go into this sort of slow-mo mode that builds up, this like time slowing mode, and that lets you plan out enemies and kind of target and pick them off in like a combo style system.
I felt like that mode took a bit too long to build up.
Yeah, I think so too. I didn't use it. I used it one time.
Yeah,
because I didn't know. Yeah,
and this was after fighting so many of them.
Yeah,
like I think that could have been maybe just even smaller, maybe like even a quarter cut off to that. But it's very much like gameplay outside of that, sneaking around and slashing or even doing decapitations. Like a sort of it's the easiest way to say it. Like if you play Batman Arkham, it's that sort of thing, or even Assassin's Creed, where like there's multiple enemies at once, but like 2 or 3 at the most will go at you, and then you can counter pretty flawlessly and have different things happen. And so you're using a butcher knife, so then like at that point, it takes a lot of slashes to really hurt them. But I did like that wasn't the only main thing, because like having the main character like kick in the shins of the enemy, or like kick in their knees, and then you do also can take down like propaganda.
That was
flags.
a cool thing. Yeah, it's a cool little addition they made.
Stopping the printing presses from running propaganda was cool as well. One
they
thing
had
really
this. Oh, sorry.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say they have. There's a thing that happens that after you take an enemy down, you can just leave the body there, or you can hit. Yes. There's literally a button that says desecrate.
Yeah,
desecrate corpse. Nice. I think it's desecrate corpse. So you at that point, you just take your foot and you just stomp down and like explodify their heads.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, I thought that was like such a cool detail, because most games are more focused on like hiding the body or something, but like
this one's like, nope, like, I want people to see
smash the head in. Yeah,
let them see what you've done.
Yeah, it's very gruesome in that way, but
like
it doesn't hold back on any of the events as well, and like the way those events are portrayed, it doesn't hold back on them. And then one thing I really liked is like different. Like it's kind of it's room based in a sense, but there's an indicator that tells you how many enemies are in each room, and I thought that was very smart and good, because some of the rooms can get longer hallways and longer objectives, like there's a long hallway and then there's like the printing press room, but like it tells you how many enemies are left, and I think that was very smart and good as well. So if you want to try to sneak as much as possible, which I did for the printing press room, but then there was just like one or two enemies I just couldn't, just because of how so then
like towards the end of the printing press area, you see a bunch of like there's like 3 of them sort of standing in the middle, and you're like, should I sneak and try? It's gonna be hard to sneak past them. I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna go right at them, and I did. I just went right at them.
They said this game was. And Sam, you didn't get to play this one?
No, I didn't get to play this one either.
So they did say this is alpha, and I'm like, this feels much further than that.
It does. I will say that it does. It did feel a little shallow in terms of just like what it's really just an action game. I mean,
Yeah.
all the stuff that they had, the little missions like shutting down the printing press, all that kind of stuff, it all felt a little optional. Again, this is a preview. It is still early. It says 2027 is what they told us.
Yeah.
Or the future, but I think I'd be curious to understand, what the depth is actually going to be in this gameplay, because if all we're doing is just running through and slowly slashing, I'm glad you mentioned it, because it is like a slow slash and several slashes, all the enemies, it's like, okay, that could wear on us a little bit. If that's all we're doing is just clearing out enemies in all these rooms. So
Yeah.
I am going to be curious where they go with it, but I like that sort of Art Deco-ish visual aesthetic that they're going through for the character designs and some little details. I just do hope that they flush this out a little more with a little more depth.
I'm thinking like the demo we tried, there was nothing like we could make a distraction in the environment or anything. It was just basically sneaking up behind them and then following a bit of like patterns.
Yep.
I hope there's just more to the gameplay. Like in the trailer, there's like some gun stuff, but like, is that just like a gun sneak attack sort of thing, or like, is there anything else from that? Which is like, it's just a lot slower paced, but that doesn't mean it's solely a negative thing. It's just like, if there were things to add to the gameplay, they have a lot of options they can. And of a wide variety, because that slow motion mode is cool. To build up, it just takes quite a lot of enemies for some reason. But no, it's alpha, so I'm looking forward to what more the team can show. But it looks great. Like, it plays great in motion.
Yes, definitely. You had a chance to play a game called Aion 2 that was announced.
So I honestly, I did talk about it last time, so I was thinking we could just like clip that last time, so we can just skip over talking about it this time. Because if you saw the
we didn't we didn't no, we didn't.
I guess I just like okay. So Aion 2, sequel to Aion. If Aeon's so good, where's the 2? This is it. The developers were very much talking about, hands-off preview. Developers were very much talking about, like, this is the pinnacle of what we wanted Aion to be. But, like, when it's 2006, 2008, graphic limitations, and, you can only do so much. But, like, now, with 2026 graphics and just fidelity and just everything, this is like the purposeful way we wanted this game and series to be. One of the main things, Aeon's like this huge MMO RPG that like is very well known, has many players, millions upon millions of players. The biggest thing it's known about is like the flying and the wings. This time, before it would just be kind of like using the travel and a cosmetic thing, but now they made a fully fighting system while you're on with using the wings, and I thought that was like very ingenious to do that, because the wings are just so iconic. Even if you haven't heard much about the game, like all the iconography and imagery is very much focused on like this world that you can fly around with like these gigantic wings, and they thought, why don't we go bring that into the forefront by making combat with the wings, and it looks fun and cool and awesome and gorgeous, and these dungeons are massive and like so interwoven and so detailed, and like it was the most beautiful game I saw there.
Oh wow.
They have a lot more classes this time around, a lot more different roles to pick from. Stories, raids as well. It was just like I was just blown away, because I just like really breathtaking on just any of the dungeons. And I don't know if you both ever played any of the Aion games or are big into MMOs in general.
I don't play nearly as much. I know Sam probably plays a little bit more than me, but yeah.
Okay. And
MMOs.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I play MiHoYo games. It does count as MMOs.
that's always good. And they said like the world is like 36 times larger than the original one, and
Wow.
yeah, it's verticality is like a big thing. But like, yeah, the developers are. This is like this is kind of the vision that they had of the original, and now they're able to really bring it to life because
Okay.
of just modern day technological feats was the main thing.
Okay.
And I think that's like very cool and awesome. Some of the roles are like assassin and ranger, spirit master, chanter. I think they had like 11 roles or something, and they all play very differently, of course. And definitely a lot more roles than before. Boss fights are cool in fidelity. Like I saw like so much damage and numbers are happening, but like it was never losing any like fidelity of any kind.
Sure.
Yeah. There's a lot of cool mounts as well. I thought it was ingenious, like not just have like mounts that were just like, four-legged deers or anything.
Mhm.
It was also just like, have a mount that's just like a golem or an ogre
Sure.
that you can just chill on. And yeah, I'm very much looking forward to the flight
Okay.
mode and seeing more of that, because that looks incredibly deep from what they're doing, taking such a very well-known aspect of it and saying like it's not just a visual identifier anymore. It's it's a gameplay identifier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Was there a release date for that, or?
No, I don't think
Okay.
there is.
Okay.
They do have like lots of testers, and they have a lot of that stuff happening. Yeah, September 2026, but there's not like a specific date like that. But
okay.
Yeah, my favorite MMO is New World, which is being shut down because studios. I did so much work for that game in terms of walkthroughs and guides. And then it's just hard to find like a good MMO you can really like, gnash your teeth into. So hopefully this will be one of the ones.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, if you do get a good MMO, you're going to want it on a good monitor. And Sam had a chance to see some monitors.
Oh, okay.
I wish you would have given me a little bit of a heads up so I could have pulled up
the
email.
C2A, the TCL had the C2A.
Perfect that we're watching this little footage. So so TCL was the sort of presenting partner for, I guess, Play Days, if you want to call it that. And by presenting, they were the monitor partner. So they were what everybody was presenting their games on. So yes, they had one of their larger, televisions sort of set up at all the individual booths for all of the both the I'm trying to think, Day of the Devs games. There's a couple of like the Star Wars Galactic Racer stuff was all using their televisions. Basically anybody inside of that Playday space was using it. Plus then they were also showing for the first time they are getting into the gaming monitor space with mini LED technology. And if you're not familiar with mini LED technology, it's essentially the closest thing you can get to OLED without being OLED. So it basically takes the normal LED technology that you might be used to from like a TV, or what you might be more familiar with, like a video board screen, and shrinks that down into teeny tiny and less dimming zones and stuff like that, and essentially creates like brighter brights and darker darks without sacrificing quality, essentially. And then TCL is also really pushing these sort of like frame rates with these monitors. So, we're looking at, as I'm waiting for the exact specs to come back up on the screen, I believe it's 120 hertz. And that's not with like an overdrive mode. That's just what the panel's capable of. So they're not faking anything like that. They're not the
Pro
cinematic movement or anything.
the Pro, let me read the Pro. It's the flagship 4K mini, QD mini LED, 2300 local dimming zones, 2000 nits peak brightness, and it says dual mode performance of 4K, 160 hertz up to 320 hertz.
Yes. So in 1080 you can go to 320. They were also showing that it is capable of 1440p. They were running it with I believe the demo that I was experiencing it was the, what is that called? The Astrobot game, but I think it was the original.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so but they were the GPU level, and I mean HDR looks great on it.
Right.
The ability to they said it that they didn't have it set up there, but picture-in-picture mode is a possibility. And I'm somebody that needs to be working on like multiple machines a lot, so being able to have it as your sort of main computer and then also have like your backup recording machine or like a secondary remote access machine or something on that little tiny panel or little window in the corner or half your monitor size, like it's honestly a really good like sort of entry into the space for them to be the first stab at it. They're also trying to be competitive with pricing, which I'm hoping that you have on that fact sheet.
There was no pricing on the fact sheet.
No pricing available.
Oh wait, yes there is. I'm sorry. Starting available later. I guess they were available starting June at $4.99.
Yes, yeah. And then, of course, obviously, with everything, sales are a possibility.
Yep.
With those, as Xbox would love to tell you, like, hey, maybe buy it on sale.
Yeah.
But this is honestly a monitor that I don't think you would have to wait for on sale. Like, I would invest in. It is honestly better than most of the monitors that I have on my day-to-day. I will say that I have an OLED, so like it kind of beats that, but it is a much older OLED. And my advice to people nowadays for televisions or monitors is to go with mini LED, especially on monitor technology. You don't have to worry about burn-in with something like an OLED. It's going to stay performant for a number of years. Obviously, I mean, name me a console that can give you 160 at 4K right now, let alone most people's PCs. Name me a PC that can do 4K 60 that's not like a recording, in real time on their computers. So going to give you longevity.
Okay.
DL recently bought the sort of, was it Sony's mother glass factories and stuff like that.
Right.
Like they are moving into this space aggressively, and their first stab at it's a pretty solid first stab.
Okay, excellent, very cool. You did talk about TCL sort of being the overall corporate sponsor. We played a bunch of games on TCL TV screens there. In that, I'm making some just weird transitions today. I'm trying to do some weird links and segues. Talking about some of the games that we played down there in the Day of the Devs area. We all had kind of tours of the Day of the Devs area. And Sam, and I don't know if you played this game at all, but there's a game called Lazy River that we had a chance.
No, I didn't. I heard everybody really likes that one.
It's really an interesting experience because, ta-da, I died right away. Yeah, go for it. But no, it's a friendship game. I hate calling it friend slop, but
I know, right?
Yeah. It's not slop. It's actually, there's some cool design ideas in here.
Yeah.
But you play, I think, is there 4 people on the team, Sam, is what it was?
Yeah, I think you're capable of more, but I think there was only 2 demo stations set up, so like we could only really play with that many. But yeah, it's essentially like a team game where you are floating down a lazy river from a galactic I was going to say space station, but pool station came to mind.
Yeah, I guess,
like a galactic water park. And they have a urine cleaning protocol where if somebody pees in the pool, their urine like goes back into them and turns them into a zombie.
Yeah.
And if you happen to be in the water while they pee, then you also become a zombie. So you and your friends are on vacation. somebody peed in the pool while I guess you guys were changing, and now you're trying to escape before it does the emergency like clean all protocol, or you die to pee zombies. So yeah, you kind of
Zombies.
Yeah, zombies. There you go.
Zombies.
You collect pool noodles and floaties and scraps of wooden stuff, and you build yourself a little raft to you and your friends float down the river and attack these pea zombies. And yeah, hopefully you escape before the pool cleans itself. And yeah, it's essentially one of these sort of like travel games that are kind of popular right now with the friendship games. Of like, hey, here's tools and here's an objective. Use these tools to get to said objective, which I know feels like every video game in the world, but yeah, and it's just themed very well. It was even, I think, we didn't have much audio, but it kind of played that kind of generic like music that you would hear in the background of places, and it's focused primarily on team gameplay, but there's plenty of mishaps to be had, and both positive and negative interactions to be had with friends. Like you got to grill meat to keep your health up, and you got to fill your pool noodles and water balloons with water to make sure that you have attacks available to you while you're getting flooded with people. So
and I mean, there's a lot of crafting involved in this too, because you essentially start off by raiding a little storage room, and you can get yourself a hammer, or you get like a squirt gun or whatever, or water balloons or whatever it is. And then as these you see inner tubes floating and pool noodles kind of floating in the lazy river, and you can collect them, stick them together. And as you start sticking them together, they start forming like these flotilla style rafts, these giant rafts. Well, then you can chop down the trees on the side and put like wood stuff on there. You can build a crafting bench on top of that. You can add, I think you can add a motor into this thing to start being able to steer it. You can, there's obviously a barbecue grill, so you can actually, up your health and do things like that. And as Sam and I are playing, he was off doing one thing, I was off doing another. I came back, I'm like, I'm going to build out this raft. And I designed it so it had this really long, almost runway style peak in front of it, and sort of a main like 6 or 8 or 9 piece section in the back. So I had this long runway. My thinking was maybe I can trick the zombies to get up on this long runway, and then I'll be able to, we'll be able to pick them off, because it'll take them a while to actually, an extra second to get to us. No, all that did was get us stuck as we would go around corners. I had to keep disassembling this thing because we would jam into a corner, and the ship, we couldn't really steer it. It would kind of go off to the side. So interesting. It's going to be another one of these types of games where it's all in the people you're playing with that are going to make or break a game like this. Because if you have folks that are very individualistic, they may not do as well, because you do have to work together in games like this, especially if you're building stuff and kind of holding off these sort of waves of enemies that come by. And if you get separated from your friends, you will die in this game. You're going to turn into a zombie, because if you're gone for too long, it's over. You really need to be close to each other. So yeah, I think like Sam said, it could end up being a very fun, awesome game night with friends. It's just going to depend on if you can work together as a team to do that.
I haven't played Peak before. Have you played Peak?
Yeah, we did it for a game night. We did it a couple times. You'll have to join us next time we have it. I know a few of the folks love playing it. So
okay, cool.
We also played a game called Ithaca that was there. And Ithaca is interesting because so I've been big into I think the game right now is in what do they call it? In Kickstarter. Don't quote me on that. But I've been big into Homeric poems. I reread every year or two. I will read the Iliad and the Odyssey. I grew up. I love those books, the poems, and I'll sit there and read them. And I've gotten the audiobooks. It's great to listen to on the drive home and to work and stuff. Well, this is called Ithaca, and it's a quote unquote road odyssey. And it's an interpretation of the Odyssey, which was Odysseus's 10-year journey home from Troy after the Battle of Troy. This is not Troy, obviously. You're trying to get somewhere. You're in an automated vehicle, which, again, this is kind of hitting a lot of my Venn diagrams because I'm a car designer guy as well. But you're in this self-driving car, and your goal is to get somewhere. And as you're driving, you're trying to solve this mystery, and you don't know what this is. But as you start looking around the vehicle, you can look at your phone and go through the messages and go through the calls. You can actually call people in your phone as you're trying to figure out who left this strange voicemail to you. Well, then that leads to the sort of CarPlay or autoplay screen on there. You can kind of tap around there and start to look at stuff. You can look at pictures. Then you're like, well, let me check the glove box. And there may be something in the glove box or in the back seat. And you start to see these connections as things are starting to work together. And it's really interesting from that standpoint. The demo kind of stops before we end up really getting too far, or just sort of showing us what playing this game will be like. Both Sam and I had a chance to play it. And it's interesting. I'm curious to see where it's all going to go. Obviously, it looks like there's some type of murder or death involved. It's quote unquote road trip type of thing. But yeah, I'm definitely curious to see where this goes from that, that whole playable, they call them walking simulators, but it's really self-driving car simulator in this case aspect. Sam, what did you think when you had a chance? Because I handed the controller and the headphones over to you, and I just kind of stared at the screen for a bit.
It's interesting to kind of be locked into one space for what appears to be like a pretty long story. There was it seemed like a set list of numbers to call. Like we sort of had contacts, but then those contacts were referencing and reminding us about stuff that were in the car. And things for us to check around there. And there were hints at some other stuff that would sort of, I assume, lead to other people to call and have interactions with. So yeah, it's kind of like an interesting take of almost like a point and click adventure game, but what if the point and click adventure game was in one room? It's the 12 Angry Men of video games. I'm not sure that I've really experienced a narrative much like it. I'm kind of curious to see how it kind of builds on that, because again, if it is, obviously there's stuff going on outside, but if it is something like a 10-hour long story, what does that look like at hour 4 or hour 6?
Yeah. Are we going to get sick of just being in this tiny room? I will say, in that short, 15, 20 minutes that we had in there, you're in this confined space, but it does feel a little bigger because you are turning around a lot. You're opening things, closing things. So it's kind of an interesting way to tell that story. Vrender, we're going to switch over to a couple very different things that you had a chance to look at. One was Everquest Legends.
Yeah, so I got an invite for that, and then I was like, the things I know about Everquest it's one of the most prolific MMOs in existence. Why is it prolific? I have no idea. What has it done to change the landscape for MMOs? I have no idea, but it has. One of the coolest things about this was, so they're actually working with a lot of folks who would work on the emulations on it as well, and they're trying to bring bring the original game back, but so same thing with the style and everything, but change a lot of aspects to make them more quality of life changes. Rather than pressing every single self buff individually, you can just press one button, press a few buttons and just self buff, which is better than it was back in 1999. One of the cool things I thought is if I remember correctly, you were kind of just stuck in one class or maybe two classes, but then now every character you have, they can be up to 3 classes. So then they're trying to figure out some things since they have frogs or orcs who can now be different types of classes that they couldn't before, because it was very class locked back then. now they had to figure out like design ways, and they had to make sure like garb and gear could fit perfectly on these older models, and they had to like really go into like the code and stuff like that. And I thought that was really cool. There's the frog character is kind of like the mascot this time, like before probably, but like even more so this time around. They're very much just like trying to bring a lot of modern game sensibilities and quality of life changes in regards to this. Create so up to 3 classes, and then they all get the benefits of stats, spells, and everything that come with each of the classes. That was like a big thing. I thought that was I think now, like nowadays with MMOs, it's people don't really like to be like one class focused. Like they want like variety and easily to switch that. So being able to have 3 at the same time. Let me see. Oh yeah, their biggest thing from it, which was interesting, was like they made sure like this can be played solo, so you can raid solo.
That's really important, definitely, to someone like me who plays solo more.
So they very much were implementing ways to go about that people can play alone and do these dungeons and raids alone. So they were doing a lot of difficulty testing and things outside of that, which like I played a lot of New World alone because like it is hard to find people. Like even if you join like factions or guilds or anything, it's still hard to coordinate. Sure. But in a lot of those quests and raids just cannot be done due to power level or power cap. But they very much were pushing forward that this can be played alone. And then I also accepted the email to do this because the game has turbines, like the original did.
Yeah.
The original did. And then I brought up to them in the interview, like, "Oh, are you gonna add more?" And they were like, "Yeah, absolutely."
Sweet.
So hopefully this and Aion 2 are definitely gonna be my, because I never got to play Everquest.
Sure. Yeah, neither have I. Yeah.
But picking 3 classes and being able to do a lot of quality of life changes like self-buffing is easier, and playing alone, that's pretty big now.
Yeah.
Because everybody's trying to play like stuff like Peak or Lazy River with people that need people, but like having an MMO that you can just play alone is pretty phenomenal. Yeah.
You also had a chance to play Dreadmoor.
Yes, I did talk a little bit about it last time. So it's like
briefly, yeah.
So it's a Lovecraftian fishing game, first-person fishing game. A catastrophe has happened in the world, and now everything looks like this. One of the aspects I liked a lot is like the stylization of it, because it's not cell shaded, but it's also not realistic. But it's like this dark, grimy, but it like pops as well. A lot of the way to catch fish is very different depending on the types of fish, and there's customization aspects with the crafting, and you improve your boat, and your boat starts off very awful and slow at the start, but it's basically just surviving and uncovering more of this world. The hook shot there is used to hook things like just random boxes that contain things inside, and you can use a lot of bait to craft new lures and new ways to new gear as well, and you're trying to just constantly try to fill up your fuel in these like dark grimoire environments. So it has like Lovecraft elements without the xenophobia and racism that are apparent in Lovecraft stuff.
Right.
I really like the designs of like the NPCs, like this character that you talk to, and you can upgrade your rods that's shown durability and those types of things. But it was very much like if you enjoy Dredge or you enjoy fishing games, so like also like putting like the cozy aspects of like Stardew Valley and this just like very much known fishing qualities or games that have fishing into this more like dark and grimy environment, but it doesn't like it doesn't. The atmosphere is still wonderful and gorgeous to look at. Like these look like set pieces that you could just like hold almost. Like a lot of the houses, they look really nice. And I'm looking forward to discovering more of the world and the weird types of fish in there and the very like what sort of aesthetics that they went hard on leaning towards the fish, because like some of them look like they're glowing in weird ways. Like it's that
Right.
Simpsons meme where it's like, oh, let's look at the fish, and it's like 1 eye, 2 eye, 3 eye. I think I don't know too much how heavy it is in terms of story or anything, but I very much like you're in this world and trying to see what it is now after this unknown catastrophe. The gameplay loop's really good. I really like it a lot, being able to fish. Are you both into games that have fishing or?
Yeah, I am.
Fishing?
Yep.
Okay, sweet.
Yep.
What are some of your favorites? Do you remember any?
It's I can't remember anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say
Yeah,
there's just a ton of like fishing games
Yeah.
out there. Pretty much every JRPG has
Yes.
had
Has
some
it.
type of fishing.
Animal Crossing has a weird fishing.
Yeah,
yeah.
the Sonic games that have Big the
Yeah.
Cat have a lot of fishing stuff in it.
Right.
But no, I mean, yeah, I'm a big not so much in real life like fishing guy, but like the sort of like mini games of fishing, like
Yes.
or like heck, even like Fortnite has some like fishing like adjacent like lobbies and stuff like that. It's just a very good, like, even before like podcasting was a thing, it's a podcast thing. Like you can sit down and listen to like music, or like sit down and fish and like hang out with people. But like this just has like just a very like specific tone. And I mean, you were talking about the visuals of it. Like even this trailer is kind of shot like it's a like car game. Like it's just like all these like kind of like very like fixed camera angles and like Dutch angles and stuff. Like they are trying to like set an uneasy tone while also like looking very good. So like not like setting the uneasy tone by being like, look how disgusting these fish are. Look how disgusting this environment is. It's like, we're gonna make you feel uneasy because the shop guy's at like a 45-degree angle and looks huge. So yeah, I just love like from a stylistic wise, it looks very good. It does share some of the same sort of like traces as Dredge, but yeah, it definitely looks like it sets its own course. Pun intended, I guess. To like something that like looks really cool and really unique.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool. I really like how like just the visuals of like when you're crafting, just like it's all like neatly done as well. Like little pockets of everything, and I'm very big on games that have like fishing elements. My favorites would be Warframe.
Oh, you can't go wrong with
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
for fishing in there, and then Disney Valley does fishing as well.
Okay, I know that.
So and then this whole game is about that. So I'm very much looking forward to them like diving into that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Totally. I want to jump over to Sam for a second on a game that we didn't get a chance to record. Sam, you had a chance to see Stranger Than Heaven.
Yes. Oh, wow. Yeah. Stranger Than Heaven. Stranger Than Heaven. I believe is the
I love that.
The theme song. Or I guess I should also be, oh shit, it's Tupac. But let's go, baby. Tupac. Yes. My demo was not getting to hang out with definitely a live Tupac. It was getting to try a little bit of the combat throughout the game. Essentially we got to look at like 3 little chunks of the gameplay. We got to look at a first one that's sort of early on in the experience where it's you versus a bunch of little tiny thugs, and then there's a little one that's a little bit later on in the storyline where it's you versus kind of like a bigger dude and a bunch of little thugs, and then there was a one that was much later in the storyline where it was you just one-on-one with a samurai that had a sword that is trying to kill you and cut you into tiny little pieces.
Oh,
and Yeah, it is certainly a different fighting style than you're probably used to in action games.
Sure.
So everything is left and right balanced. So if you're holding a controller, or if you want to look at a controller, your L1 and L2 are your left side of your body, and your R1 and R2 are your right side of your body. And you're like, okay, well, what does that mean? And it could mean any number of things. So is there a guy directly in front of you? Okay, well, hitting R1 and R2 just throws like, a right hand punch, and then R2 throws a heavier right hand punch. But maybe you mix that up with a little R2 L2, so you're doing a little boxing combo. Okay, there's a guy that grabbed your right arm. So now you can't use R. So now you're hitting the left bumper, and now you're punching a dude in the face, and then you hit L and R2 together because you're thinking, oh, maybe that's just something I can do. And the engine naturally knows that, oh, that means you want to grab this dude and slam their heads together. So it's got this really sort of unique, like, flow engine, if you want to call it that, where it kind of reacts to like what's going on screen, and like what your sort of stance is and what your response is to what the sort of like combat situation that flows out. So there was also a scenario where I got kind of like knocked back into a table, and there's a guy coming towards me, and I was trying to throw a left punch, and I accidentally hit the right punch instead. But I was near a table, so I just grabbed a plate that was on the table, and I just chucked it at the guy because it was like close to his right hand, and that would be something that I guess would be, naturally something you think about. And I didn't even think about it because I didn't think about picking up an item, but it was within his reach. So yeah, it can definitely be used. We also did get to experience some of the weapons. So they gave us like a little hand hatchet, like butcher knife type thing, and a big giant metal pipe. And so that obviously changes the sort of flow of combat and the speed in which you can obviously swing a giant pipe and swing a knife. So, that it still does that same sort of level of combos with, sort of like moving the momentum of the pipe of if you're coming down with a left swing and being able to transition that into a right hand swing, and, being able to counter people specifically. So, you can, I believe it was the B button. It's been a while since the demo, but there was a guard button that essentially you'd hit. And then the same thing would happen with your attack buttons, where if you hit L1 and block, or R1 and block, it would be a block. And if you hit it at a specific time and your weapon was strong enough to counter their weapon. So obviously you can't block a katana with your bare hands, or parry a katana with your bare hands, but you can with a knife. So if you have an equal weapon, let's say, you're able to sort of have different combat options from that if you parry the correct side that their attack is coming in from. And then, of course, there is also like a step dodge and stuff like that. So you have a lot of combat options that you might be familiar with the sort of third-person action game, but it really wants to take away all that sort of confusing mapping and make it a little bit more streamlined. And like we kind of, we had a limited time for the demo. But even within that time, it sort of like really starts to click with you. Like, okay, I can see my character start to like kind of stagger if I throw this stronger punch here. So if I can kind of ride that momentum and then do a follow-up like left-hand punch that sort of uses that momentum to help move me forward towards my next opponent. And it's honestly, I thought was really cool. And especially in a game that like seems like, there's going to be a bunch of major systems, like combat wasn't left to the sidelines. Like this is like a major focus for them.
Did you get a chance to try the other eras, or did they tell you if any of the other eras had like different gameplay?
The different like sort of combat experiences were all in the different, or we're in different eras, right? So the harder one of the combat experience, the later in the eras it was for that experience. Yeah. So and they mentioned to us that obviously you're going to sort of gain experience from both a player standpoint of learning how that system kind of flows together, and then also your person, your character in game, once they're more experienced with combat, will have more combat options open to them And then, of course, once you're in those later eras, they've been in that lifestyle for much longer, so they have much more experience of dealing with street fights and maybe dealing with specific weapons. So the sort of options there are more available to you, are more open to you.
Cool. I want to talk real quick about Fractured Blooms.
Yeah.
So you had a chance to see this.
Did you got a chance to see that as well, right?
I didn't. No.
Okay.
I think Sam, somebody saw this previously on our staff. I can't remember who saw Fractured Blooms, but go ahead.
Fractured Blooms. So this is a team that did Doki Doki Literature Club, which is very well known. I think it's like 30 million copies now.
Yeah,
for that game. Same studio. They always try to like do interesting things with like any genre or game, and then kind of skew it in an interesting way. So this one is very much like Stardew Valley, having characters that there's planting mechanics, there's like growing mechanics and food harvesting mechanics, but then at the same time it's like this very creepy sort of game where there's like this darkness within it, and it doesn't tell you too much, even on like the demo should still be there on Steam if I remember correctly. So it does give you like a little of what the game is focused on, but there's always like this undercurrent and this eeriness that's just happening. You're talking to a NPC, and then you turn around, and then you turn around back again, they're gone, sort of thing. And it's there's not too much that like, because they want to keep like the trailers very like quiet about like what more goes on in the story and that sort of thing, which I think goes very well to its benefit. But you are like cooking and doing all these aspects that you would find in like farming simulators, but it's all done in first person, and like even just walking through like the house has like this like very like it was keeping me like guarded, even like doing like such simple tasks like this. I was still like guarded even though there was nothing like coming, but it was very like just a sense of the environment, just doing these small simple things. And there were some other aspects that were, it was very lightly touched on the demo I played, but like when I was talking to one character, there was like an affection social link sort of situation there, but the demo didn't really focus into that, but like it did appear when I talked to somebody. But there is just like this undercurrent that's very creepy and interesting and like wants me to keep going, but it's also like puts you on edge throughout. I'm very much looking forward to more of this. I don't think it has a release date or anything. It has been anticipated by so many people for quite a while as well. And they have like such a great, Serenity Forge has a great catalog of games trying to do interesting things. Like Doki Doki Literature Club was is VN focused about that plays on its it's just like a visual novel that's focused on high school things, but like no, it's about like other aspects like mental illness and like disability, rights and representation in regards to that. And I'm very much looking forward to them diving into like a full farming simulator, but still keeping that like tone of like let's do something interesting, and like let's do something that's not done as much. Like their other games are like they just Slay the Princess, which I've heard like phenomenal things.
I may own that one.
To the Moon as well, that RPG Maker,
they got Vivarium coming out, which looks really cool. That one was announced at the Xbox showcase. So they got quite a few. They've really kind of turned into this cool boutique bespoke publisher. So
absolutely. The Alto games and their Serenity Forge is always doing like cool stuff, and it's very Well, like they started off like with just like one person basically.
It's always like that, right?
Yeah, and it's fantastic. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it and seeing like
looks
because
great.
I'm very big into farming simulator games and like those types of games that focus on that. So I'm looking forward to diving more into that, but also like uncovering like the creepy and scary secrets of the farm and the environment as well.
You also had a chance to see Petal Runner.
Yes. Did you folks see that this year or last year?
No, I saw it there, and I didn't get. I just didn't get a chance to book. But it looked. Okay. I had heard so many people talking about this.
Yeah. So Canadian game, very small team as well. So basically, you're on a runner, like a motorcycle, delivering different like V pets. Basically,
I love this style, by the way.
Oh yeah, they went. Yeah, it was Game Boy. Yeah, they really
love it.
Absolutely, and when you're trying to like get different V pets and deliver them, you do like small little mini games with people, and I just like this like zaniness, but also like this like here's some of the mini games that you do. They do get more difficult and tougher, but one thing I really liked is like the mini games are all vastly very different of what they should do. Like that one had like a ghost sort of situation, but like there's ones where you have to like get down or like click specific things at the same time. I can't even remember the mini games that much, but the mini games are all vastly different and they're all like pixelized pixel art like this as well. I like just getting around and talking to people. The game has like a couple of maps as well, and I saw just the main hub one. But I really like the art style a lot. I really like this like Game Boy Color, but like up res. Yeah, I liked getting to talk and find different virtual pets and then adding them into like the decks as well, so like I can see what they look like. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward. This game's been in development for quite a while.
Oh, has it? Okay.
Yeah, they were showing it last year at SGF as well, and I thought it would have been out by now. But I'm very big on the proponent. We're like delayed as long as you can to just release it.
Yeah.
I'm, the music is also like chiptune sort of, SNES, Game Boy Color sort of aesthetics as well. It's fun and cool. I like going around on the map, and I like solving those different puzzles or problems people have, and delivering these V pets, and then doing the mini games, and it's fun and cool and cute, and
cool.
I'm very much looking forward to like when it comes out and talking more with the developers. It's
love it.
Definitely a big anticipated game for me.
Love it.
Yeah.
We've only got a couple more, friends.
Yes.
So then we'll be done. Then we'll be all set. I want to get to one. I didn't get a chance to talk about this on video. I only got a chance to write about it and I think talk to people in person. Star Wars Galactic Racer. I freaking loved this. Love this demo. There's actually a funny story that I'll have Sam tell the story at the very end of what took place. But it's a roguelike racing game, at least roguelike in the respect that of how the races are actually handled. So you start off by getting onto this planet, and you're hired to race in this league, and so they give you this quote unquote token, and you enter the league with this token, and you go through these different series of races. Some are sort of the standard races, if you can. Your goal is to just wherever you rank, that's the amount of points you get. They have these trials races where you have a boost button. You can actually boost the speed of the vehicle. So depending on how fast you're going, you build up a boost, and then you can use the boost for a certain amount of time. Don't overuse the boost, or you'll overheat, obviously, and blow up, and that'll be in that. But like the trials will have you try to boost as much as you can during the length of a track, and then they want you to get to a certain number, and hopefully you get that number. And then they have knockout races, which you start with 12 or however many racers there was, and you chip down, and your goal is to end up in the top 3, and then those top 3 folks, that this is sort of like the culmination of each section of the or each planet of the races, and so if you end up in the top 3, you move on to the next planet with other new racers. So that was actually kind of a cool way to do it. If you lose, just like in a roguelite, you go back to the very beginning. But the interesting part of this is that there's this deep story kind of built around it. Yeah, your goal is to beat like your sponsor's rival, right? And they make a big deal about it in the story as the story is going. And the more you race and lose and have to restart, you get to meet new characters that start to really flush out what the plot is. You start opening up shops, you start doing all these types of different things. So losing isn't bad in a game like this. In a lot of other racing games, if you lose, you're like, all right, well, I guess I'll just do this. I'll do this stupid race again from that same exact point, blah, blah. In Galactic Racers, they actually built a plot around you're kind of meant to lose so that you can, build up your character more, build up your ship, and discover and meet people. And the hub area is a little tiny, like, oasis town that you can walk around in. So you're not even in your vehicle. You're just quite walking around. You're talking to people, checking all the cool Star Wars stuff. And it's really neat. It's really cool. It's coming out in September, I think, just like everything else. But it looks really good, and it was moving super fast. And then in these races, you start off with sort of a traditional speeder. Then you'll go into a different type of race vehicle and a different type of race vehicle. And each of the vehicles have different modes. So some can drift in specific ways. Some, if you hold the trigger or the special button down, they can go sideways and kind of come around corners and stuff. And it depends on the race and the vehicle type. So it's cool from that standpoint. And then they have you. So that was like the first 50 minutes or so of our demo. The last 10 minutes of my demo, they're like, okay, now you can do pod racing, which is a whole separate thing. And it's quite literally just pod racing. And boy, does that move completely different than these speeders. And that's actually really good because you want to feel like you want them to feel different. And you're racing, you'll bump into people, you'll send the engine off in the corner, and then you're all done. But it's fun. Pod racing was a lot of fun. The stuff feels like it's just sort of bouncing around, and tracks are amazing. The courses that you're on, because these aren't like races, they're not like F1 style race tracks. You're in a you're driving through in all these races. You're driving over dunes. You're driving through tunnels, like rock outcrop. It's really well done, really visually stunning. I'm looking forward to it. Anyways, the funny story that I was going to mention was Monday afternoon, 4:00, everything is shutting down, right? They're done with everything.
Yeah.
Sam and I had gone to see a game at the last second. Maybe it was like 5:00, whatever it was. And as we were walking back, typically you'll just kind of, some of these folks will just start they may leave their games running, but not these folks. Sam, do you want to explain what happened when?
I mean, this game is not going to come out for a while. I don't.
2 more months. Yeah.
I don't think they plan on releasing a demo. We watched as they went to the hard drive settings on the PlayStation and deleted every single update, every single copy of the game, and then factory reset the PlayStations after that, just in case the first delete wasn't enough to eradicate any trace of that data off of these hard drives, which I both appreciate.
So funny. They did not want these to walk off. They didn't want anybody coming in with the USB stick and taking a copy of this. So they're like, Sam and I are watching them, and they're quite literally, there's like a dude or whoever standing in each of these PlayStations, hitting the settings, delete this, delete. I'm like, that they're going to the extreme. I was surprised they didn't like take the PS5s out back and shoot them to make sure they weren't going to be. But I'm looking forward to it. It looks really good. Plays really well. Sam, you and I are super hyped. I know JJ on staff is really hyped about it, but I had a chance to play it, and it's worth the hype. It's worth the hype. Virender, you and I played a game. Sam was in the other room playing a Saber interactive game while I was playing Turok Origins, and you had
Yes.
Turok Origins as well.
What did you think? Because did you play the original?
I grew up on Turok on the N64.
Yeah, I want to hear your
live. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Funny enough, the only video that's available is the one from the Switch 2.
Okay.
So they didn't have anything that shows the actual gameplay, but it's 3. You know, you're in teams of 3. Again, you can play individually in this. You don't have to partner up with people, so you can play by yourself. And you pick your class, and which is like Ranger. There's I forget, Raven, I think, is one of them. I forget the names of all 3
Raven.
of these. Yeah, I have them written down in the article. But
yeah,
essentially what it does is it's like it just slightly different loadout and capabilities. And you know, some of them will the Ranger can do, or the Raven can do these like powered long shots. One of them can do these sort of shields when you're facing off against enemies, and then the other one does something else, right? So
one has like a mini
yeah,
like,
there you go,
grenades that it shoots out.
That's what it was. And so the demo has you going through this forest, and kind of obviously you run into, you know, squads of enemies, and you have to face off against them, and there are some like dinosaurs and aliens and that kind of stuff. But what really is important is how this game feels, and it felt like they were trying to be true to the origins of what Turok was. Turok was this weird first-person platforming game that didn't quite work when it first launched on the N64. Everybody knows it. It's okay to say it. Turok 64 was not a great game, not a good game. It just did some new things that were kind of interesting back then. What's so funny about this is that they purposefully designed the platforming jumps in this to feel like you're jumping on the N64 version of the game, but actually being able to jump. Like it felt
I could feel that. I could feel that when I was jumping.
It's funny. It's like, well, I actually feel, and you could play this in third person. You could play it in first person, and I played in third person. It's funny that they went that extra step. It's like, no, there's still some heritage in what Turok is. Like they could have gone and just did something completely different and just used the characters from the Turok mythos. But no, they kept, like, even down to the logo, they kept the idea of like what Turok was, which is this weird sort of adventure, very light puzzle things you have to do, but it's definitely an FPS style thing.
Yes.
With weird weight, and they kept it. And I enjoyed my time with this, like way too. It's not trying to be it's one of those situations. It's not trying to be a AAA game. It's just letting you have a good time with what they're providing you, which is you got, like you see it in this video. There's a giant like armed Tyrannosaurus Rex that you face off against in the first area, and it's just cool. It's just stupidly cool to face. It's like, why not? Let's do it. I think the part that sold me on this game, and it was really funny, is my squad mates are off to one side. And they're trying to break up these. We're trying to find these sort of beacons that you have to destroy. So they're taking out these beacons, and they're going after them. And I decide to go. For some reason, I have this weird thing with video games where I just start exploring. Again, demos like this are not good for me because I will go off the beaten path immediately to test out what I can and can't do.
Yeah.
And I do that here. And so I go off the path because I see this little like shadow in the corner of a cave or something, right? So I go off to the side, and then I kind of duck around something and duck underneath something and go past something. And I find this giant like log looking thing. So I go down to the end, and there's this little like golden collectible. So I pick up the collectible, and I start heading back out, and I feel this hand come on my shoulder, and I'm like, oh, what was that? Huh? It's the developer. So I take my headphones off. I'm thinking I did something wrong, or like, hey, we're gonna do something later. And he said, you know, we've given all these demos. You're the first person to find that hidden collectible. And I'm like, game of the show. Game of the show. Dolly did something before anybody else did, but it was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole first area is this forest. Second area, you're inside this temple with just this. You get a
Platforming
platforming. There's a grappling hook, which is really cool. The only problem I had with the grappling hook is it's not like you can't just keep launching it. You have to like find the very specific point. And I got kind of stuck. Like, where am I? What am I supposed to do here? I can't find the grappling hook point. And then I finally found it with my reticule, just managed to like link up to it. I'm like, okay, I hope that is a little bit better understood when we actually play the game. But I enjoyed my time with this quite a bit. And it's another one of those games where it's like, I wasn't expecting this to be as enjoyable as it was.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I mean, what are your kind of general thoughts?
I absolutely loved it. This was my first time diving into anything Turok related.
Okay.
Because I've known about the franchise a lot.
Yeah.
I've known about the N64, but never had a chance to play it. Because, I thought it was like, it really was just really fun and cool.
Yeah.
And I like the weapons are all vastly different.
They are.
The skills are vastly different as well. There was one where like you do like a scream tornado sort of thing.
Oh yeah, that one was cool.
Then another character has one that like unleashes quills from their body.
Yes.
Or like I think there was like a fire skill as well. But like there are all these different loadouts of like very cool and interesting things. The animations were beautiful. They made sure that I was doing like executes on different things.
Oh, that's right. They have the executes. Yeah.
Yes. And the executes are like gruesome and cool, but they're all done so vastly interesting. I like the bow as well. Can't have you know a Turok without
a bow.
Energy bow, the aesthetics were very like really well detailed and well designed. A lot of the they made sure on a lot of they made sure on a lot of the character designs they had like consultants doing it, and that was really cool to like properly capture the aesthetics that they're pulling from as well, but also still being very respectful of them as well. The boss fights are fun. They're difficult. They're so very difficult, but like holy, like it's nice to be able to like fight enemies who aren't just like fodder, but like ones that are very tough and difficult to, you know, actually.
And you could tell they had fun making them. They're like, how big can we make this enemy, and how much like armor, how much weird ass armor and turrets can we put on this? And then I'll like ratchet that up another 50%.
I thought it was like incredibly fantastic. Like even if the story isn't like something like like you know too much, or even if it's just like the gameplay and just like that three player you know different loadouts, different they said they had even like a lot more weapons and stuff like that.
I can't wait to
try so I'm just like
oh, it's so cool.
I liked so many things about it. It was fun and very cool. Set pieces are great. A lot of the forestry is really well done and really nice.
There was one part in the forestry that I noticed. Is so me and my two squad mates are running around because the way they had the rooms set up is you had 3 people on these 3 computers doing their own game. 3 people on these, so they had 6 people. So you're in kind of groups of 3, and there is one area where it's kind of difficult to you have to kind of platform up on it. It almost looked like tree houses. There's like these clearly they were placed there by other living organisms, humans or whatever, or aliens or something, but they look like you're supposed to climb up on these sort of these like ledges and stuff that somebody had built. And if you're not careful and if you haven't figured out how to jump yet, you're going to keep falling down. And so I made it to the top pretty quickly, but the other guys on my squad, they would make like halfway and then they'd miss time a jump and then fall down and miss time a jump. So that's when I turned to one of the guys and I took my headset off. I'm like, switch to third person. You'll do a lot. Switch to third person. But yeah, it was cool. Let's do. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm also glad. Like, if one person reaches the checkpoint, then you can just like hold the button. Like, it's such a little thing, but like, thank you. Good. Yeah,
fine. No, I don't have to wait for someone. It's like just the one person. We're good to go.
No, it was fun. It was great. It was like gargantuan of like what
Yeah.
they're doing, and I think like the route they're going is like, they're really just like, this great game to just like have fun with, have people with, and try all these new different weapons, and there'll be more abilities I think as well. But
when they
it's-
first announced it, I think the fear was like, oh great, a co-op, it's probably going to be live service, it's going to be mission based. No, they this is an actual like narrative action adventure.
Yeah.
It's just 3 people instead of
Yeah.
1 person, so it's cool.
Yeah. And like it uses the it fits with like there's enough enemies to fight. There's enough like when you have 3 people.
Yep. It's not overwhelming, and it's definitely enough, and it scales. It's like from what the developer was telling me, he goes, no, it's this is going to scale. If you're playing by yourself, don't worry, you're not going to get you're not going to feel like you're playing a game designed for 3 people. You're going to feel like you're playing a game designed for 1 person. That so they definitely got that sort of figured out. So
that team is very that team is very like passionate and enthused as well.
They seem like they were real. Like I said, when I saw that hand come out and be like, you're the first person to find it, I'm like, oh man, I can. The one good redeeming factor out of Summer Game Pass. Last but not least, go ahead.
No, go ahead. What? I just have one more left.
Okay, I was gonna say we got Magic the Gathering.
Yes, that's the one. Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, so obviously this is out right now. It just launched at the end of last week. Magic Marvel. Sam and I talked a little bit about this but I want to get your opinion on this.
So I've only been playing Magic for about a little over a year when the Final Fantasy set came out.
Same with me. I got right back into it at that time. Which is kudos to them for these universes doing that kind of thing.
Yeah. I was very much looking forward to them doing like Spider-Man is a set that can get very like it's hard because it can only be Spider-Man stuff, so you're gonna have to like do that. But this was more like Marvel Heroes, Avengers sort of stuff. So the new mechanic they had was prowess, if I remember correctly. Oh no, power up. You cast a bit more, not even a bit more, like quite a lot more, and then you can activate it you can only activate it once, but it's nice because like if you have creatures in your hand that are low cost, but then they have power up, you don't have to like just keep them in your hand and be like wait until you have like 7-8 mana. You can just play them and then do the power up later, which is a lot of it is just like adding +1/+1 counters, but then some have that are like add a +1/+1 counter, but then also discard a card from your opponent, or deal 2 damage somewhere, or it had very interesting mechanics with that. I like the breadth of designs that they took. Like they were really going hard on like not just like keeping it on like one aspect of just like, oh, we'll do Avengers, but then we'll leave out like smaller or different iterations. They had what decks did you get to try?
I played with I believe I played the Hulk deck, I think.
Yeah,
I think I played the Hulk deck. Sam, do you remember which deck you played?
I was Captain America, I believe.
Captain America, yes, there you go. And they were actually the designer there that I was talking to was telling me that he's like, well, so I'm secretly a fantastic. I love Fantastic Four. I did everything I could to make sort of the fantastic, because there's like these 4 or 5 like I don't want to say commander, but sort of like theme big main master deck type things, right? And he's like, so I made I forced them to put a Fantastic Four like set to that aspect together to make it so that like they're almost OP if you can get this whole thing combined.
They have like an infinite, he said.
Yes. He's like, it's so cool. I'm like, that's awesome. That's cool. He's like, I just love the Fantastic Four. I'm like, good man. But I like playing the Hulk. It was kind of interesting. I did get smoked in this because I gotta say they did not hold punches. Because Sam and I, the way we played it was they asked us, "Are you new to Magic the Gathering, or are you a casual player, or have you been playing for a long time?" Sam was new, so they took it easy-ish on him, And I said, I'm a casual player. I'm kind of in and out all the time, but give me like, I haven't played it in a few months. Literally give me one round and I'll be back into it.
Yeah.
And we started playing, and he was relentless in making sure to. He's like, well, this is the combo that I would typically use in this type of setting. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
He's like, and he goes, but I'm going to use it against you right now. I'm like, oh, okay. What can I do to block it? He's like, well, you're going to die. You're going to die.
Yeah.
Like, all right,
yeah.
no problem. But it was
if
fun.
it was the same designer, he's
yeah.
been playing for like 30 years.
Yeah, I think it might have
and
been.
then he's won a lot of like top tournaments. So, like, yeah, but no, I like that. I think that's more respectful to like just call out on us. I'm so glad Ms. Marvel is also in the set. Like, Dan, one of my favorite characters, and I have to like find a copy, which won't be too difficult because it's very cheap as well. But did you pull anything nice in your packs?
I can't remember. So I've opened. Hold on a second. I have one last pack to open. I'm gonna grab that.
Let's do it. Yeah.
I'll be honest, it's been so long. I remember opening it and being like, "Oh, those are cool," and then I haven't seen them since. I've gotten back. I know exactly where they are. They actually gave us a deck box too, so they're like in that deck box, but I like haven't opened that since I've gotten back.
I'm gonna make myself large here. So there you go. So here's the booster right here. I've opened my other 2 boosters. I grabbed 3 boosters and a secret lair. Open the secret lair. I have it actually sitting. I have to put it up on the wall because it's hard. I can't turn this around because the lights are off, but I have my wall over here. I started putting like some of my favorite cards, and so I'll grab like some of the secret lairs and some just cool cards just from all different games and stuff. But I'm trying to build up this nice little wall area over here. Anyways, so let's crack this sucker open and see what I get. This is the third. I think I got 3 boosters in this. So I got Clue, which is it's sacrifice this token, draw a card. It's a token artifact. So it's double-sided there.
Ooh.
I've got Hero in Training.
Sure.
Okay, let's get a little closer. Here we go. Hero in Training. That's good. I got this one in the other pack, the Decoy Ploy. Here's my boy, the Thing. It's an instant. Kree Commandos.
Yeah.
Yes. I love the art of these things. It's just so good.
Yeah.
It's just so good. And being a comic nut, growing up comics is good. The Wakandan Royal Guard. Look at that Wakandan Royal Guard. Okay. I got Gorilla.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I got an instant lightning strike. So there's our boy Thor right there. Ooh,
yeah.
Deals 3 damage to any target. That's good. I got the surveillance room, which is good. It's a land. I love that the land is the surveillance room. It's just so neat. That's cool. Here we go. Ava Ayala, White Tiger. I love White Tiger. They're a really cool character. Like there was a version on the Daredevil TV series and the comics, obviously. And I've been playing. Every time I see White Tiger, I'm always a Madam Hydra. There you go. Also, if you watch a lot of Marvel on Disney Plus, you're starting to get to know who Madam Hydra is. The Baxter Building. That's cool. Speaking of Fantastic Four. Ready? Here we go. Ooh, this is a beauty. Lord of Atlantis.
Holy shit.
That's a stunner. That's a gorgeous card. That is beautiful. I love that card.
Dude, frantic Googling in the background.
How much does that cost? And I got Scientist Supreme of AIM. So there's that one. And then finally I got a couple here. I got a mountain. It's funny having like the surveillance room land and the mountain land. Giant Growth. This is my little but yeah, that's Lord of Atlantis that's a gorgeous. I always love the borderless. They're so beautiful. This one's gonna go up on the decoration up there with the wall. So that's all the pack. I've now opened all my packs. I think I opened one in a previous episode, and I've opened all 3 of them. So good stuff. I am excited. I'm going to be playing this more. It's funny because I was telling, I think I was telling Sam, I was telling someone. I went. I was at 7-Eleven, met up with a couple guys. I was selling some stuff on Marketplace, and I met up with these dudes over there, and we were chatting about something, and I mentioned I went to Summer Game Fest, and they were asking me all the stuff that I saw. I'm like, yeah, I did this. I saw some tabletop stuff. Like, oh yeah, what'd you see? I'm like, oh, I saw Magic the Gathering. They have the new Marvel set, and this was on the pre-release day that I met with these folks. I think it was like 2 weeks ago, 2 weekends back, and they're like, oh, dude, we just got out of at the pre-release, and I'm like, oh, they'd spent, I guess one of the guys is he does a lot of cool YouTube videos on tabletop games. I didn't know that, whatever. But he said they were there for like hours playing at the pre-release stuff and having a great time. He's like, these cards are they went through sort of the history of like the less than ideal card sets that have been out the last like year or two, with some of the Universes Beyond stuff. But they're like, this card set is awesome because they're like, you know what? Let's just have fun with this. Let's stop trying to be so, such sticklers about specific things and still obviously work the canon well into this, but let's just have fun with card designs and characters. Who cares if someone's a little bit more powerful? That's the fun of this game. You want to get those guys on your team because these are superheroes. These are meant to be ridiculously powerful. It's not like whatever. So they were really excited about that. So hopefully they were able to get themselves on some packs. So yeah, I've been enjoying it. I've been looking for the packs. So as soon as I see one, I'm going to buy it. Some more packs because I just love these cards. Good on them. Good on them.
I thought this was a very promising set for them. For sure.
And that's it. Look at that, 2 hours. Woo, Good times. We had a good chat. We went through the rest. I got the list of all the couple lists here of all the games that we saw. Spit these videos out over the next few days here. Vrender, thank you again for hopping.
No, thank you very much. Like, always good. I know altogether it was like more than 25. It was like what, 30
tons
we talked?
Who
there's
knows?
Still like
So
2 embargoes you have to do. So
and there's fun stuff, but that's just you know what? It's I'm already thinking about next year's Game Fest. I already know I may not be able to make it, or at least not the first couple of days, because it all depends on my daughter's graduating next year, and her graduation ceremony is usually her schools is usually that weekend. So I'm hoping it's on a Friday next year, and that way I can come Saturday, Sunday, Monday. But we'll see. Who knows? We'll figure it out. Maybe Sam could go for SideQuesting again because he did such a good job last year. But I'm already looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to PAX East if it happens next year. Who knows what's going to happen? But it's good stuff. It's always good. It's good to see people. It's good to see you, hang out with you.
No, it was fun. I'm glad because Sam and I got a chance to hang out much more
for sure
this time. Last time was Rush because it was the panel stuff and this and that. But no, the fireworks story was wild ass countries, fireworks selling on the highway.
It was the most American thing I could think of to share, and it's pretty up there.
My Canadian brain was just like, okay.
Thank you, crew. Thank you, Virender. There you go, right there from Zero. And SideQuesting.com, SideQuesting TV. Virender, where can we find you if people want to follow your work?
Yeah, Blue Sky. You can find me virender.chubal.bsk.social, and then I did do the stuff for Unwinnable, but was representing them for the event. Outside of that, mostly just Blue Sky. But subscribe to Unwinnable. They just reached their 200th issue.
Oh, nice.
They've been doing good stuff. Like if you want heavy, cool, interesting personal games crit writing or essays and any of that. If you're just like you're looking forward to like more in-depth coverage of even games that came out like 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 years ago, you should definitely subscribe to them. They had their Final Fantasy edition come out, and that was a bunch of stories about different Final Fantasies people did essays of. But subscribe to them for sure. They are always doing cool stuff at Unwinnable. Yes.
Excellent. And with that, You can find Sam and I in the SideQuest and Discord. But with that, we'll see you in the next episode of the SideQuest. Bye, everybody. Take care. Thank you. Love you.
My friends.
Bye, friends.